Hello everyone. So this is something I've been wanting to do for a while now. As a lot of you know, Alan and I, my husband, my name is Carly. We bought this piece of property last year, and it's kind of been a dream of ours for a long time to start a homestead, call it a homestead. So I thought with this I would kind of tell you guys our plans and goals for this year as well as for the future. Give you a little tour of a couple things on our property. There's not a lot. This all used to be beans and peas, used to be grown on this property. So first thing, if you'll notice behind me, this is a 90 by 90 irrigated area that we want to eventually use it all, but for now we just have this little area tilled up. This is about a 20 by 50 area. Actually, these 6 sprinklers right here, they don't work. There's a broken pipe somewhere that we have to dig up and figure out where the problem is, but over here these 3 sprinklers do work. So we just tilled up this area and we're going to be putting our first garden in this year. This is actually still even a very large area. We're novices. We totally don't know what we're doing. We spent the last 8 months or whatever just absorbing all the information that we can in preparation for getting this in the ground this year. So I started some seeds last night. I'll show you guys those in just a little bit. And I have a bunch of seeds coming sometime this week. So I'll be maybe doing a video on when I start those. I did do a soil test and all of our parameters were good except for nitrogen. So we didn't, if I would have planned better, I would have put in a cover crop over the winter season to get some nitrogen into that soil, but bad procrastinator, so I didn't get those in time. We will do that next year in preparation. But I found a tutorial on using alfalfa pellets. It's actually horse feed. I got it from Tractor Supply. I got 2 50-pound bags, and I'll show you guys that. I have to mix it tonight. We added 100 pounds to a cooler with some water and some sugar and a little bit of compost just to feed the bacteria that is needed to introduce more nitrogen into our soil. That's my neighbor. He's shooting guns right now. So we live on 3.5 acres, give or take. And when we finally decided to pull the trigger on getting a piece of property, this was actually the very first place that I saw online, and it's the very first place we came and saw, and it was kind of meant to be. As soon as we saw this place, we fell in love with it, and we actually went and saw probably 10 other properties, and none of them even came close to comparing to this piece of property. We loved it so much. But one of my huge inspirations is Jess from Roots and Refuge Farms. I've been watching her videos like crazy. She's been a huge inspiration for me and given me so much good information to use. And she uses 16-foot, they're called cattle panels. They're 16 foot, and I'm going to make some arched trellises that I'm going to grow some eggplant, some squash, some zucchini, and a bunch of small little melons. I love cantaloupe, so I'm excited to grow some of those. So when we get those put up, I will also show you guys. Now in February 7th is kind of my D-Day. That's when I can start putting stuff in the ground under cover. So I did order some row covers that will be being delivered today. They're 10 by 50 feet, so I'll have 2 row covers and I'll start getting everything put in the ground. So let me show you a couple of our projects that we have planned. So if you look right here, this monstrosity is coming down. So this is coming down. That is going to be where our chicken coop is going to go. Now I will say that Alan and I are vegan, so on our homestead we won't be breeding any animals or producing any meat off of this property. But my dog does eat eggs, so we will be getting chickens for eggs for him. Eventually we would like to rescue some chickens, but we like I said, we're novices. We don't know anything. So for our first flock, we will be purchasing some chicks so we can learn about raising chickens. And we will, after we learn about them, we will eventually try and rescue all of our chickens. So I'll show you, we have over here, this was a big selling point for me. I know it's silly, but this is all muscadines. And I love muscadines. It's one of my favorites. And these produced like crazy last year, and it's actually, we need to prune them back a lot. So we'll be doing that in the next couple weeks. So I'll show you around our property. This is all of our property. That's the neighbor over there. All around here, and there's a better view of the tilled area that we're going to do our garden in. Those 4 bales are actually left over from Halloween. They're around our fire pit, but I think we'll use them for mulching. So I'll show you. I'll show you a little bit of the alfalfa meal. So like I said, with the alfalfa meal, 2 50-pound bags of just pure alfalfa pellets, no additives or anything. I actually, we doubled the recipe, and I only doubled the alfalfa. I actually kind of messed up and forgot to double the water. So this is Alan's shop. We're going to Alan's shop right now. So here is the alfalfa. This is just for insulation. It actually gets really hot as it breaks down. That's just to keep the cooler closed. So here's just what it looks like. This whole cooler is filled with, this is what it looks like. And I will mix it tonight at about 5 o'clock. And then it'll be ready to spread in the garden probably Monday, and we'll till that all in. So if you're my friend on Facebook, you saw these were where our hydrangeas were, and they got some, I don't know, fungus or something. So we chopped them all back. Hopefully, I'm sure they'll come back this year, and I'll monitor that more closely. But this year should be a big year for us in regards to getting this property up and running, and to what we know it can be. I mean, we have so much potential on this land. We're just feel incredibly lucky to have found this place. It was literally perfect. We're about 15 minutes outside of Mobile, Alabama, so we're in Zone 8B, which means we have a really long growing season, so that's good. I did start a bunch of my seeds late. Again, procrastinator. But that's okay. I mean, I'll just get a little bit of less of a harvest. But this year, the main focus is learning. And I'm fully expecting, I wouldn't be surprised if literally every single thing in this garden fails. But I'll learn from it. That being said, as a novice gardener, I did have grown a couple things in like containers, but almost all of those died over the winter because we didn't prepare, and it seems to be a theme. Prepare, and some of them are already coming back, actually. It's the middle of January, and it's 70 degrees outside. But the frost is not over. Our first frost, I think, is on, I'm sorry, the last frost is, I think, March 21st. Here's Sid. Let me introduce you to Sid. Come here, Sid. Come here. Come on. Come on. This is Sid. You'll see him wandering around behind me. He's a good boy. Eventually we'll get a little garden shed out behind the chicken coop when we get the chicken coop up. So anyway, we're really excited. I wanted to kind of bring you guys in and share a little bit of our life and what we have going on in our lives, and our big year ahead of getting our dream up and running. I mean, seriously, we've been dreaming about this for almost since we've been together, and we've been together for 12 years now. We've talked about, you know, owning a little farm. This is our dream is coming true, and I wanted to I'll keep giving you guys updates throughout the growing season, and possibly my utter failure at doing doing this. But there's just so much information when it comes to growing food and growing plants that really, I mean, I've absorbed as much information as my brain can possibly hold. I think the next step is to just try by doing, and trial by error. This is totally going to be a 100% an experiment. So thank you guys for hanging out. I hope, I don't know, maybe this is interesting to some of you. I'm just really excited, and I wanted to share that with all of you. Have a good week, and I will see you next time.